Hello folks, in this second video, we will go step by step through deploying our Docker image on Google Cloud Run. We will also explore how tools like Cloud Build and Artifact Registry help us build and store that image behind the scenes. Let's navigate to the Cloud Run service and click on Deploy Container. When you first open the page, you may be prompted to enable the Cloud Run API if it hasn't been enabled yet. In our case, the API is already active, which is why we don't see that option. If you would like to check which APIs are currently enabled for your project, you can do so under the APIs and services option from here. See, this shows that Cloud Run admin API is enabled, due to which we are able to perform few operations on the UI of Cloud Run. Let's go back to Cloud Run. Cloud Run provides three ways to deploy your application: deploy a container image, connect a GitHub repository, or write your code inline. Since the goal of this video is to deploy a Docker image, we will proceed with the first option. The first field you will notice is the container image input. You can use a publicly available image from Docker Hub, but for private images, it's best practice to host them in the Artifact Registry and pull the images from there. So let's go to Artifact Registry. I don't see Artifact Registry in this list. So what I'll do, I'll search it over here. Artifact Registry, yes. Here, the image which you want to deploy on Cloud Run is visible in this table. Now the question is how to have your image be available in Artifact Registry. That's where Google Cloud Build comes in. What exactly is Google Cloud Build and why do developers use it? Think of Cloud Build as Google Cloud's automated build and CI/CD service. It takes your source code, your Docker file, or your build configuration and automatically turns it into a container image or deployable artifact ready to run anywhere. Let's say you push code to GitHub. Cloud Build can automatically detect that change, pull your code, run your build steps, run tests, and package it all in a clean managed environment. No local setup, no manual building. Everything happens in the cloud. Once the image is generated with Cloud Build, the image is then pushed to Artifact Registry, and once it is there, we can proceed with deployment on Cloud Run. So let's see Cloud Build. Again, that is not here. We'll have to search it from here. Cloud Build. In Cloud Build, first we have to do is to connect the repository in which our code is hosted. So I'll click on this repositories option. As soon as I click on this, it will prompt me to enable Cloud Build API. So let me enable this. It will take a while. In this page, we have to create a host connection first. And since my code is hosted on Bitbucket, I'll choose this option. Before filling any of these details, let me hover over these two input fields. It says that the secret manager API must be enabled before creating new secrets. So I'll go back to API and services. Search for secret manager API and I will enable it. Now I'll go back again to Cloud Build service. Let's go to repositories once again, create host connection, choose Bitbucket, region, select as Mumbai, name I'll give it as Cloud Run demo build, workspaces tech with money, and now you see that tooltip in which it was asking me to enable secret manager API, that tooltip is not appearing now. In these two input boxes, we have to fill admin access token and read access token. What is access token? Access tokens are required in Cloud Build to authenticate and securely connect to your source repository. They allow Cloud Build to pull your code and trigger builds automatically without exposing your personal credentials. To get the access token, you need to go to the Bitbucket repository, and somewhere in the settings, you will find the access token. But look at this tooltip. It says for admin access token, it needs to have webhook, repository admin, and pull request read permission. And for read access token, it needs only repository read permission. I'll go to Bitbucket. This is my repository. Let me see. Yeah, here I have access tokens option in security category. Let me call it as GCP admin token, and I'll set the expiry as, let's say, 4th November. And what all permissions it wants? Admin token. Let's look back once again. Webhook, repository admin, and pull request read permissions. Webhook, repository admin, and pull request read permission. Create. You'll get this token. I'll copy this one and paste it over here. Similarly, for the read access token, create access token, GCP read token, I'll give it as name, set the expiry as 4th of November, and it wants repository read permission. So repository read permission. I'll copy this and paste it over here. Let me click on connect and see whether the connection is successfully established or not. Yeah, the connection is successfully established. After the connection with the repository is established, we need to create the triggers. Triggers as in which event do I want my CI/CD pipeline to get kicked off? Is it going to be the push to a branch, or is it going to be manual invocation? Is what is specified in the triggers. So I'll click that and click on create trigger. It asks me for the name. I'll say Cloud Run Demo Trigger, region South 1 Mumbai, and I will keep these two fields as empty. I want my CI/CD pipeline to get started in response to manual invocation. So I'll click on this. I'll choose second gen. I'll link repository. I'll choose this one. Branch is main. Yes. Now the most important bit. We haven't said like what all steps my CI/CD pipeline will be performing. All we have talked about so far is creating the connection and creating the trigger. But we haven't said about what all steps my CI/CD will perform. Those steps are mentioned in Cloud Build configuration file. The name of this file is cloudbuild.yaml. I'll show you in my repository. Here I have cloudbuild.yaml in the root of the project, and the steps it need to perform is with the Docker file that I have, it's going to generate an image with that, and in the second step it would take that image and push it to Artifact Registry. For these operations it needs this service account. I'll show you how I created this service account, which is cloudbuild.im.gservice or whatever. I want the region to be Asia South 1 repo, artifact repo, which I'll create in a while. I would give the name as this one, and the image name that I want my Docker image to have is Cloud Run Demo Image. And you know this these project ID is the substitution variables whose value Cloud Build provides automatically. Okay, so main thing to understand is that we need cloudbuild.yaml file in which the steps to perform the build is mentioned explicitly. Since we have cloudbuild.yaml file at the root, I have provided this over here. I'll keep all these things as empty. Now, very important step is the selection of service account. I have created one service account already, which is Cloud Build SA service account. I could have chosen this one also, which was already created, but this one has more permission as what I require. So I need my service account to have minimal permissions. So that's why I created another service account which has only that much permissions which is needed for creating or triggering the build. So I'll choose this one. Let me show you how I created the service account before clicking on create. So let me duplicate this tab. I'll go to I am an admin and look for service accounts. Yeah, I'll click on create service account. Let me give it as name demo account. Create and continue. Permissions. In this, what I want is cloud build service account permission. I need to provide only this much of permission for the purposes of triggering the build. And continue and done. This is how you create the service account. Now let's get back to the trigger part. I think all the fields are filled. So let me click on create. Trigger is created. If I click on run, my trigger will be invoked. That is, it will establish a connection with the repository, read its source code, and read the cloudbuild.yaml file, and will initiate the build process. Also, we must not forget that we need to create a repository on Artifact Registry as well. So let's head to Artifact Registry and create a repository. I'll search for Artifact Registry here, and I'll create a repository. Now, what name should I provide here? Remember, in cloudbuild.yaml file, I said that this is going to be my repository name. So I'll choose this one. Format is Docker, standard. Region, I'll choose again as Mumbai. No description. I'll keep rest of the thing as it is. Yeah, and then I'll hit create. So our repository is created as well. Now whatever image my cloud build will generate will be displayed in this repository. Let's try that out. So let me go to cloud build. I'll click on triggers and I will click on run since I chose the manual invocation. Yeah, branch would be main. Let's run the trigger. Let's see the build logs. Well, congratulations. The build is created and the image is pushed to the artifact registry. Let's verify that. In Cloud Run demo, yes, this image is updated. Cloud Run demo image. All these extra steps that we performed was to have the image on Artifact Registry. Once it is in Artifact Registry, procuring that in the Google Cloud Run deployment step is very easy. So let's proceed to that step. So I'll go to Cloud Run from here. Where is Cloud Run? It's here. I'll click on deploy container. Deploy one revision from an existing container image. Let's select the image. So this is the URL of the repository. Yeah, let me select this. Region, I'll choose as Mumbai again. I'll give the service name as Cloud Run Demo. I'll allow the public to access this. It's going to be request based. Yeah, and I'll keep rest of the option as default. It's going to take some time. So my service is completely deployed. All the steps were performed. Now let's check whether it's successfully deployed or not. Since it was a boilerplate Express code, I expect the welcome page of Express to come up. So yes, it worked as expected. So this is how we deploy an image on Google Cloud Run. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to the channel. Drop your thoughts in the comments and I'll see you in the next one.